Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 10th, that's right, double digits episode of the Maritime Wrestletime podcast.
A 10?
That's right, the 10.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, your best source of wrestling news, whether it be WWE, AEW, NXT, or others. Zach, we do not have Patty with us today, unfortunately, but how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm ready to talk wrestling. Survivor Series was this last weekend, so I'm kind of excited to talk about it. So let's do it.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it with a quick rundown first. We will talk about the usual SmackDown and Raw, followed by NXT, then a quick TNA segment. I just want to talk about a quick segment that was a little funny.
If you're wondering at home, you probably guessed it right which one he wants to talk about.
Yeah, if you know anything about what happened in TNA this week, you should know exactly which one I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Followed up by Zach's bad booking. Then
Ooh.
I will have Creative Team Corner, and we will finish it off with a quick recap of the Survivor Series pay-per-view that happened last weekend.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into Smackdown. So this was the Smackdown before Survivor Series, the Friday right before. Couple matches happened. Most of them weren't too big of a deal. One of them that I really was interested in was they finally did Murphy versus Rollins.
Yeah, we were waiting for that one.
Yeah, and they actually made Murphy win with a clean victory, which
I think the answer to that was Seth Rollins is leaving soon.
Yes.
I think he's already left for the birth of his child.
Yeah.
So he kind of went out on his back like if he was retiring.
The match was really good though. Seth got a stomp in, and I was like, oh, so they're gonna make Rollins win, and then Murphy got his foot on the rope, and I was really happy because that means that WWE wanted to do the right thing with this match, which they did.
Yeah. Nice.
Making Murphy win cleanly. Very happy with the outcome of this match.
Nice.
After that, there was a short promo between Sasha Banks and Asuka before their match, in which Sasha Banks actually gets attacked for the second week in a row, I believe, by Carmella.
I think they're building up the Carmella character really good here somehow. I think that you kind of just have to wait and see. I'm excited.
Like they've had her back
to see what they do.
They've had her back for what, like 2 weeks, and her character is already better than the couple of years she's been in the company.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of females that they could have done this with. Carmella's a good one, so yeah, why not?
Absolutely. I think they're doing a great job. I think it's good for them that they're realizing that their talent can still be developed, even if they're on the main roster, they can still be developed, which is really good. Good on them. Good on Carmella too. Really happy to see her, I guess, doing well in the business.
If you were to pick someone on SmackDown that wasn't Carmella,
yeah,
to take her spot right now,
yeah,
what would it be?
It's kind of hard because I want to say Bianca Belair, but I feel like she doesn't fit right now.
She's not the heel character.
Yeah,
either,
she's just not the heel. It just doesn't work. If not Carmella, I don't think there really is anyone unless they wanted to keep the Bayley storyline going on. But
I don't think that's the problem for me.
Yeah.
To me, I agree with Carmella. But good God, Rhea Ripley,
yes, yeah,
be called up pretty soon.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to NXT. I had some words for it, but we'll talk about it when we get to NXT.
That's good.
And then SmackDown ended with a solid match between Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso, which I don't know about you, but I thought it was kind of odd that Daniel Bryan is winning this cleanly. Not that Daniel Bryan should be losing to Jey Uso, but it kind of takes away from the whole tribal chief thing and making it look like Jey Uso is just really weak, and then why is he with Roman?
I think the big question for me is because I already know that Uso and Roman are doing their thing, so I'm not really concerned too much about it.
Yeah.
And they kind of booked it well at Survivor Series as well, so I'm not really worried about that.
Mhm.
What I'm worried is who's gonna get Bryan. Who's next to get Daniel Bryan? If you're gonna, are you gonna do Roman? Like,
That's what I'm thinking. That's how it feels like they're setting it up for, but I don't know if I want that.
I don't want that.
Because
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you straight up. I don't want that.
Yeah, there's no way Daniel's winning it. There's too much
At this
heat
point,
on Roman.
on SmackDown, to have like a hero character to beat Roman Reigns,
Mhm.
the only one that comes to mind, and I'm not even sure if that's okay, would be Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I see what you mean there.
Could you see a scenario where Kevin Owens wins the Rumble and takes on Roman?
I think it would be first of all, that would be a great story. Great storyline. I just I don't see Kevin winning. That's the only issue
That's the thing. So I'm kind of trying to think ahead to WrestleMania because we're already in the hunt for the Rumble,
Mhm.
which is exciting on its own.
Yes.
But but like, I know there's something to do with trying to find the perfect opponent for everyone, because there's no way Roman loses his belt before Mania, right?
No.
There's no way.
Absolutely not.
And whoever it is that's going to beat him for the belt eventually is going to have to be at Mania or SummerSlam down the road. So I don't know.
I had a theory that it was going to be Brock versus Roman, if not The Rock.
Yeah, everybody wants The Rock.
I know The Rock, but like, what if it's Lesnar?
I feel like Lesnar is the easy way to go here, but like, I just think there's too much talk of it being The Rock that it's not going to be The Rock.
If
like, Lesnar would make sense because
Paul Heyman.
Who else could beat Roman convincingly in the business right now?
Paul Heyman's with Roman too. Like this is the ultimate setup, right?
Yeah. But here's my thing. The Usos are being a part of this. So like, is it one of those scenarios where Brock Lesnar destroys them like he did with J&J security for Seth Rollins? You remember that angle?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Is that the only reason the Usos are joining? Like, if it is, it's kind of shitty.
I hope that's not the case. But like it's hard to say that The Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania against Roman, which
because you think Roman comes in number 30 at the Rumble and just wins it?
I don't think he's going to be in the Rumble.
I kind of do.
I don't think I want him in the Rumble though.
Yeah, but
unless there's someone big to eliminate him, because who eliminates Roman? Because you're not making him win the Rumble.
Oh, not Roman in the Rumble, The Rock in the Rumble.
Oh, The Rock. Oh, I thought you said Roman. Okay, that makes more sense. I could see
The Rock comes out at number 30. It just wins. You think anybody would be mad?
You know what? I don't think I would like that.
I would love it. Because, first of all, the shock of number 30.
I mean, yes. I don't think you need to make The Rock win the Rumble to make him go against Roman.
Yeah, if you're trying to make a new star, no. But I don't know. I feel like the shock value of this would be too high to not do it.
How interesting would it be if an NXT superstar won the Rumble? I don't think it'll happen, but how much of a shock would that be?
I think it will happen, but it won't be for the men.
Oh, really?
Not Rhea Ripley. Not Rhea Ripley, right? I was thinking about that because here's some way you could book it. Give Rhea like a month and a half off. And she's deserved a vacation for a long time, I think, especially with like working in NXT and working in the UK and then coming down and doing all that stuff. Give her a month off and have her come in at the Rumble and win it. Not.
I can definitely see that.
Why not? Because that's the only way you're going to make a new superstar is if you make somebody else win the Rumble. Look at how many Rumbles have the women had? 3? Asuka, Becky, and Charlotte won those.
Did Charlotte win? Yeah,
Charlotte won the last one.
Right. Yes.
We all thought it was going to be Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
So why not give it to someone that's not like a big 5 or a big 6? Like, if it's not Charlotte, Becky, Asuka, Bayley, Sasha, or Alexa Bliss for that matter, why not?
Man, how much of a pop would it be if Becky Lynch was in the Rumble?
walking down with a stroller.
And then Snitsky's in
then
the
she
crowd.
punts the kid. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Okay. Let's move on.
It's fine.
So yeah, that'll be it for SmackDown. Let's go on to Raw. Raw this week was really strong, I thought. Raw started off with New Day versus the Hurt Business, being Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander again. Zach, let me just say, I would watch these two wrestle every week for the next 10 years and not get tired of it.
I mean, that's what we said for Brock Lesnar. We got tired of it at the end.
I don't think I ever said that about Brock. But yeah, so this match was really interesting because it happened twice in the same day, technically. Match happened first time, ended in a count out, and then MVP went on the mic and was like, hold on. You guys don't really want this match to end like this, right? So then they went on again, and then the New Day ended up winning cleanly, keeping their title.
Yeah.
Obviously great matches, really talented people in the ring. Yeah, show me this for the next 10 years, please.
Yeah, Alex, you're going to get bored of that. Just, maybe have them have like a 2 pay-per-view feud where you can maybe switch the belts once in a while.
I would love to see this at TLC, which is the next pay-per-view.
I got a question for you for the Hurt Business.
Yes.
Because we've talked about the Hurt Business a few times, and I was thinking of a leader. Because we're, kind of like the Nation where The Rock was kind of like the big star, and we're kind of waiting to see who that would be. I have 2 names. I want to see, because there's one I'm not sure of, the other one I'd be sure of.
Okay.
So the first name that I'm not sure of would be Velveteen Dream.
For the Hurt Business?
Yes.
Okay.
But I see him more as just being a good wrestler in the group and not necessarily being the leader. The one person that I would love to see be the leader of the Hurt Business, I don't know why we didn't think of this before, because he literally is slapping us in the face. Keith Lee. I was thinking about this. I was like, why do they not make Keith Lee the leader of the Hurt Business?
Have they?
He can talk.
Has he ever been heel?
I don't think he's been heel because first of all, he couldn't be heel because everybody cheers everything he does because the crowd just loves to see a bigger guy do all the cruiserweight moves.
Well, yeah, we're basking in his glory, Zach.
Exactly. So, but wouldn't that be cool? Like, wouldn't Keith Lee being like the heel of a faction, like with Bobby Lashley,
man,
I thought of that and I was like, that kind of makes sense.
I think that would be a great story because Keith Lee right now is going to be part of a triple threat match for a chance at the title next week. What if he wins it? What if he beats Drew? And then
I don't see that so early.
No, but listen. What if he ends up beating Drew and then comes out as a member of the Hurt Business right there? They're holding 2 titles. You have New Day drop their titles to Hurt Business at TLC as well. They're holding all the titles on Raw.
Yeah, I see it. Here's what I don't see though. I think they're gonna go with the safe bet. I think AJ's gonna win.
That's also a fair one. Yeah.
I think AJ's the safe bet.
I think
I keep saying Beth.
I don't know.
Bet.
I think Matt Riddle's the least likely one.
Yeah, but that's how they get us. Remember when Dolph Ziggler won the U.S. Championship against Corbin and Robert Roode?
That's true.
We were like starstruck.
Yeah. Moving on, as we just talked about, Keith Lee, AJ, and Matt Riddle, all 3 of them had separate matches on Raw. Matt Riddle beat Sheamus. Keith Lee, which
was kind of shocking.
Yeah, actually, I thought Sheamus was gonna get that win for sure.
Yeah.
But good for Matt Riddle, I guess.
It just gives him a chance to fight on the main roster with,
Yep,
good guys, and gives him a chance to show what he can do to Vince. That's what I like to see.
Absolutely. And yeah, Keith Lee faced Bobby Lashley, which I think this is the first Keith Lee match on the main roster where he didn't have 90% of the offense.
Yeah.
which makes sense because it's Bobby, but still a decent match overall. They did well together. And then the last match was AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, which I'm a little surprised that Randy didn't win, but that's also because The Fiend intervened.
Yeah, so it looks like my boy Randy Orton's going to be facing The Fiend now.
Yes, which I'm okay with. I think it's a temporary thing until they start setting up for the Edge Orton Mania match.
Yeah, that's the way I see it too. And I kind of see a way, like, because I'm trying to picture what the Fiend's match is going to be at WrestleMania. Because a lot of people are saying that it's going to be Edge and Beth versus Fiend and Bliss. I'm not sure if I want to see it. Like, I'm like, who? Why wouldn't the Fiend just destroy them?
I would much rather see Edge versus Orton.
Yeah, me too.
I'm trying to see like Miz and Maurice. No,
hell no. It's a squash.
Hell no. Daniel Bryan and Kane.
I mean, it'd be a squash if Miz wins the title. I could see the Fiend beating the Miz at WrestleMania for the title.
Yes, but do you see the Miz? I mean, yeah, I guess I could see him cashing in if it's like a pay-per-view and person's badly beaten up already or something.
I'm trying to think of what's the smart way to book, because the Miz can only win the championship before July, right?
Yes.
So how do you make him cash in and it makes sense? I have no idea. Unless they do something stupid like they did with the Fiend and Seth Rollins, where the Fiend just dies.
Potential other couple that they could face. I don't know how you'll feel about this one.
I say no, but go ahead.
Andrade and Charlotte. I think
yes and no.
I think the promos would be hard to do.
No, the promos would be fine. I think the problem would be Charlotte and Alexa Bliss will wrestle a long time because they can wrestle together, but I think that Andrade would just get killed by the Fiend.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Maybe Andrade can do something, but I'm hesitant to see. I mean, it's not to take away from his talent, but he's wrestling the Fiend. Like, if he's wrestling Drew McIntyre, that's fine. But if he's wrestling the Fiend, who's supposed to beat everybody to a pulp, no.
Yeah.
That's where I have a problem.
They're kind of in a weird spot if they want to do a Fiend and Alexa Bliss in the same match. I find. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Rollins and.
Would Becky be able to wrestle that fast after?
I mean, she is Becky Lynch.
Yeah, she's also called the Man, and she has a baby inside of her. So what's your point?
Wait, I thought she had it already. Am I just delusional?
I don't think she had it.
She might not have. I don't know.
And she took pictures there. There were some pictures on their Instagram, but it was the baby belly, not the baby itself.
Who knows? Fiend
I mean, that wouldn't be bad. I'd be fine with that because Bliss and Becky. I'm not sure if I've seen enough of Bliss against Becky, so I'd be fine with that. I think.
I can't really remember any like significant matches between them, so it'd be interesting. Definitely. Oh wait, what if the Fiend? Okay, Zach, hear me out. The Fiend and Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
It's the only right way to book Nia, I guess. Injured another person on Raw.
I guess while we're on the the topic of Alexa Bliss, on Raw she had a match with Nikki Cross.
Yeah, it looks like that's done. Huh?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not necessarily like sad about it being over. I don't know. It was like the entire.
Does it feel like a burial for Nikki Cross?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what I'm afraid of. But at the same time, is Nikki Cross going to be that great?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Like so far we haven't seen any like Charlotte performance from her, you know.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen a lot of Charlotte performances in wrestling.
That's true.
Let's be real.
That's also true. Very true. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping they have plans for Nikki Cross. I was gonna say if not, bring her back to NXT, but NXT's female roster is just too good right now. They don't need more. Yeah, and the last match I want to talk about on Raw was it started off as Asuka versus Lana because she challenged Asuka after Survivor Series, I think it was, after her win.
Is Lana going to be champ, Alex?
And the match ended in 1 minute because Nia and Shayna
Baszler.
Nia and Shayna interrupted it, which turned into a tag match between Asuka and Lana versus Nia and Shayna. Zach, for the first week in I don't know how long, Lana
did she not go through a table?
Not go through a table. This is character development at its peak.
Yeah. I mean, God. I don't know what to say. Like, okay, sure.
Are they? Is this WWE telling us that they want to push Lana? Because if so, I'd rather her go back through a table.
I mean, there's people getting, because they're playing with us, right? They know that we expect to see it every week, and it was like, oh my God, she missed it. That's crazy. Why didn't it happen this time? So, you know.
True.
Yeah, I've been thinking of like friggin' Lana and stuff, and I think I should wait on it and talk about it later.
Fair enough. In that case,
for reasons unknown, talk about it later.
In that case, let's move on to NXT. Now, Zach, we both know that NXT is great. That's no surprise here. But I thought this week's NXT was pay-per-view worthy.
Ooh.
Started off really strong with a match between Candice LeRae and Ember Moon, which
are two of the amazing females in that division.
I just want to say Ember Moon's new look makes her look like she's from Mad Max Fury Road, and I support it 100%.
Oh yeah, I buy it. I'm down.
Yeah, this match was, as you'd expect from these two, like, amazing match. 4 stars.
Can I say something about Candice LeRae before we keep going?
Yeah, go for it.
What's like, okay, doesn't it seem like Candice LeRae is having the same career as Johnny Gargano?
Yes, and I think they're doing it on purpose.
Like, hear me out on this, because do you believe me or not? But I'm thinking you already said yes. So just think of like, okay, so right, no title shot until like a year in, and amazing storytelling too. And Johnny Gargano, that's the exact same thing she did. That he did. Sorry. I just feel like the women's division is limited to how they can push Candice LeRae because they only have one title.
Wow, yeah, that's very true. I have a question for you, Zach.
Okay.
Io Shirai has been extremely dominant with her title reign so far. Would you say that her title reign is comparable to Asuka's NXT title reign?
No, because Asuka, Asuka was the street for her. That was the big thing that everybody remembered. So, Asuka, and she didn't even lose her title; she had to relinquish it because she was hurt.
True.
So, I think that Asuka was just a little bit more convincing as a champion.
Okay.
But I do see where you're coming from, and I kind of agree. I just think that Io Shirai is going to lose the title. Like, somebody's going to beat her.
See, I just think it's hard because, like, Rhea Ripley has gone against her a couple of times, and come up short. Who's
Io
taking the
Shirai
title?
beat Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair in the same
Yeah,
match.
yeah, that's insane. First of all, but
But you
it's
could say, well, Asuka beat Bailey to win the title, so
yes.
there's a few ways you can look at it, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm trying to say. And I think that they're very comparable, but I think that Asuka was just a little bit more dominant because she never lost.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Before we go to the next match, I would just also like to mention that the Candice LeRae versus Ember Moon match had a period of like 4 minutes of commercials, because of course it did.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because commercials are always wanted and fucking.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you know when there's a really exciting match that you love watching and it's just riddled with commercials? I love that. So yeah, let's go on to the next match, so this one was interesting. Tommaso Ciampa kind of called out Timothy Thatcher and said that he wanted a match with him. But that's not what happened. Timothy Thatcher ended up having a match with Kushida, with Ciampa sitting outside the ring watching the entire thing. And they just made Timothy Thatcher lose cleanly for no reason.
To Kushida.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like the past couple of months for Timothy Thatcher have been pretty downhill. Like, since losing to Balor, I don't think he's done anything significant to boost his own brand, I guess. I don't know, I just feel like NXT is burying him for no reason. He's such a good performer.
I think he's not, like... It was such a weird career for Thatcher, because like, he shows up in NXT just to pretty much be given the tag team championship to replace Pete Dunne, because Pete Dunne was dealing with COVID stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, he loses the belt. Then they have the Matt Riddle Thatcher match, which was a good match. It wasn't like the regular steel cage. It was like a different match. It was great. It was one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, he gets his match with Balor. Was it Balor? Yeah, it was Balor, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And like, he keeps getting these good matches, but have you ever heard Timothy like have a friggin' can I think of the word promo? Have you ever seen him have a promo?
I don't think I've ever heard him on the mic.
Yeah, so like, are they just building up a strong wrestler? Doesn't he look like the kind of guy you kind of want with the Pat McAfee group?
Yes, I thought his like, I like Pete Dunne, and I think Pete Dunne definitely deserves to be in that group. But I feel like look-wise, Timothy Thatcher makes more sense.
Yeah, that's the thing, but I don't seem to see it that way, and
yeah,
they have a right to see the things they want to see.
That's true. And just goes.
I do think that Timothy could eventually get some kind of North American Championship shot.
You think he could beat Leon Ruff?
I think he could beat Leon Ruff.
I don't know, man. Leon Ruff has beaten Johnny Gargano twice now.
Yeah, I know, but Damian Priest is a thing.
That's true.
Yeah. I got a question, but before we go, who do you think's the next guy that's going to be called up? NXT.
The next guy that gets called up.
Yeah.
Damian
Priest to me seems like it makes sense. I don't know why.
If not Damian Priest, I have an interesting one, which makes it. Is
it Pamian Dreist?
Yeah, it actually is Pamian Dreist. No, it's someone who hasn't been in NXT for very long, but Karrion Kross when he returns.
Yeah, see, that's another thing I would remember how we were talking about the Fiend versus Alexa Bliss. Oh, not the Fiend versus Alexa Bliss. Sorry, the Fiend and Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
What about the Fiend and Alexa Bliss versus Karrion Kross and Scarlett?
I would love to watch that.
Yeah, we would.
That would be match of the night for me. I don't care what other match is on that WrestleMania card.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Karrion Kross doesn't have a lot of time left in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Might be the surprise of the Rumble, by the way. Just let you know.
That would be a good one. I'd love that.
Yep.
All right, next up. So Kevin Owens was doing commentary on NXT.
Yeah, I saw that. He was also wearing the classic Kevin Owens tie with a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. And
very famous look.
And he had a Kevin Owens show on NXT.
Ooh, who did you talk to?
He talked to Leon Ruff about his championship. And Zach, I just want to say, Kevin Owens is one of the funniest guys in wrestling right now, by far. The way he did the Kevin Owens show was great. So he starts off, it's them two in the ring, right? They have their chairs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they're talking about Johnny Gargano, and then Kevin Owens is like, "Oh, you said Johnny Gargano. That means he's gonna come out that ramp, right?" And he points at the ramp. Johnny Gargano's music lights up. He points at a guy. A guy gives him another chair. He brings it into the ring. Johnny comes into the ring. Johnny throws the chair out of the ring and says, "I don't need a chair." They start talking. Damian Priest gets mentioned. Kevin Owens is like, "Ah, you mentioned Damian Priest." Points at the ramp. Waits a bit. Damian Priest's music comes out. He walks out. Gets a chair for him. And
it's really funny.
They start talking about it and blah blah blah.
Is Kevin Owens just a more talkative Orange Cassidy?
I don't think I would group them together. Because Kevin Owens is still a serious wrestler, right? Like his matches, he won't pull off like these stunts, I guess, like Orange Cassidy would.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I know that's not like the best comparison, but I'm just saying, like, as a being cool and funny kind of person, it works.
But yeah, at the end of the segment, after they're all arguing in the ring, Kevin Owens is like, "Wait, I smell a William Regal coming on to announce a triple threat match," and then William Regal walks out, announces the triple threat match. I don't know if it's for next week or no, it's for War Games, which is the next takeover, which is my favorite NXT pay-per-view by far.
So it's Gargano, Priest, and Ruff.
Yes, in a triple threat.
I will put my house that Ruff does not retain his title.
I think it's Johnny. I think Johnny wins it.
We'll see. He's the only 3-time champ.
That's true. And last segment of the night. So, before I get onto that match, earlier on in that night, the Undisputed Era came out and said that there was going to be a ladder match that night to decide who has what's the term they use? It's like the favor, or like an advantage. That's right. Have the advantage in the War Games match. I'm guessing that just means who gets to go in first, maybe.
That's what it is.
But
it's who gets the second person in first. And
so the Undisputed Era knew that Pete Dunne was going to be the one that they'd have to face, and they let Kyle O'Reilly be the one to face him.
A good match.
So Pete
sounds like a good match.
And Kyle O'Reilly wrestled one hell of a ladder match. So you know that Pete Dunne is very brutal in the ring.
Pete Dunne is just a great wrestler all around.
They did this spot where they're like both standing on like one side of the ladder, not like the side you climb on, but like the other side. Mm-hmm. And they just kept like pushing it into each other's heads.
Ooh.
Over and over again. I've never seen that before. There was a couple very brutal ladder shots. One at the start of the match too, which I was like, wow, they just killed Kyle O'Reilly.
Another broken jaw. He's gone.
Yeah. I mean, Pete Dunne did focus on his jaw. And the two main things to take away from this match is, one, Pete Dunne ended up winning the match, which it makes sense story-wise that they would have the advantage in that match. And
yeah, because that's like the new group, so you kind of want them to have the upper hand.
And two, it was riddled with commercials.
Matt Riddle?
I wish.
Yeah, it was just him doing dude, that'd be a funny thing if Matt Riddle could just do all the commercials in the world. It's high as hell.
Oh, I love Dopey. Man, that's good. I'm calling it right now. That's gonna be the next tag team. It's gonna be Dopey and Sheamus.
The brain. Dopey and the brain. Dopey and the brain.
But yeah, that was NXT. Definitely one of the better NXTs I've seen, which is definitely saying something because all NXTs are pretty good.
Right.
But yeah, really interesting. So we will now. Whoa. Okay, my mouse just moved on its own. That was creepy.
On its own. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we will move on to TNA.
With TNA.
Yes, TNA.
Okay.
With the
it's random.
What do you mean it's random? I told you we were gonna do this.
I know. It's just weird because we don't usually talk about TNA.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They had one of the greatest segments in which what's his name? I think it was Ethan Page. Was supposed to wrestle someone, and the Good Brothers came out and said that his opponent was gonna be phenomenal. And so I'm thinking, there's no way AJ Styles comes out. He's still under contract with WWE. This is just some weird tease thing. And his music plays. And
it's like WWE music or is like TNA music?
I actually forget. I just remember his music playing.
Okay.
And Hornswoggle comes on.
Dressed like AJ
Styles. The hair and
everything.
My
god.
And ends up beating Ethan Page. Genius.
That's hilarious. He beat Ethan Page too?
Yeah, he won. Of course he won the match. It's AJ Styles. Why would AJ lose?
That's right. Did he do any of AJ's moves?
I didn't actually watch the match, so I'm not entirely sure. I just saw the ending, which obviously he did not do the Styles Clash.
That would be funny.
That would have been.
If Hornswoggle could pull it off, though.
That would have been amazing. But yeah, really good segment. TNA surprising me every day with these interesting.
In 2 days, it has 308,000 views. So you know.
Yep.
That's like an hour in WWE, I guess.
For a wrestling promotion that's not one of the main ones, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty
impressive. It's actually AJ Styles' old theme song. Mm-hmm. The comments are all like, hearing Get Ready to Fly took me back to high school.
Yeah, I don't know. AJ's changed quite a bit. He looks a lot shorter now, but good for him. Good for him now that he's wrestling in 2 promotions.
Yes. Very hard to do in nowadays.
Definitely. Only person that could do it is AJ. So that's it for TNA.
Oh, dude, he hit Sweet Chin music.
Yes, he did.
And he also said, "Oh, dude, he hit Sweet Chin music as well."
Mm-hmm. That's a James Ellsworth special.
I try not to remember James Ellsworth as a person.
Yeah, we all try not to.
Roll up, of course, it was a roll up.
Mm-hmm.
About a burial on a career. Anyways, that's probably the most we ever talked about TNA.
No worries. So yeah, that's it for TNA. We are now moving on to your bad booking segment, Zach.
Yeah. So, Survivor Series was a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of good vibes on Survivor Series. A lot was good. The whole Undertaker thing was amazing. The whole McIntyre versus Reigns match was good.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it was really good. I even kind of like the 5-0 win from Raw. Just because it's something that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of makes sense.
It really, with their team, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But the one thing that didn't make sense is the fact that Lana was the sole survivor for the female match. With Bianca Belair, literally the one that's supposed to be a girl. And, that they're supposed to be promoting. And I don't understand why Lana is the one that they're pushing for this.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
So like, why? Like, first of all, I can't understand why that Lana is being put as the new face of female wrestlers, and the fact that a girl like Bianca Belair, who actually works really well, is not. I don't know. It's all very confusing to me.
It seems like Vince is choosing the route of entertainment over talent.
Somebody said too that it kind of felt like Lana was on her way out.
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say that
she's like in the main event for a while, and then she's gonna be like on the way out after.
And I mean, she went through tables 9 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Like, why?
Yeah, they're just making Lana kind of look like a joke, I guess. And then but like that's the thing, like they make her look like a joke for 9 weeks, then they make her win the Survivor Series match, and then they make her and Asuka beat Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on Raw.
Like, I'm so confused.
I don't know. It's like WWE doesn't have a clear vision of what they want to do with their women on Raw.
Yeah. Like, the one thing that I'll say that they booked well was Peyton Royce.
Absolutely.
They made her take out Bayley. Like,
Bayley was the first elimination by Peyton Royce. Yeah, that's
huge.
And I'm happy for that one. That's
100%. Me
I thought
too.
That was good booking.
The way I would have booked it, though, I would have probably put Peyton Royce and Bianca Belair at the last and just let them fight for like 10 minutes. Remember the Rumble where Sheamus beat Jericho? And, like, I think it was a 2012 one where Sheamus won the Rumble. Remember when Sheamus won the Rumble?
Oh, wait, yes. I remember when Sheamus won the Rumble.
2012, I think?
Yes.
Sheamus wins the Rumble in 2012, but if you go back to that Royal Rumble match, there's literally, like, I want to say 10 to 15 good minutes of Jericho just fighting with Sheamus. And it's kind of what I wanted to see there. I wanted to see, like, the two people, because Jericho was returning, first of all. Sheamus was, like, the new babyface that everybody wanted to see win. So that's just how I saw it. I thought, like, dude, Bianca and Peyton Royce at the end there would have been amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would have made Jesus. That would have made the Survivor Series a really good pay-per-view. Not that it wasn't good, but
it's cold for it to be SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think if that were to happen, finding a bad booking would have been a lot harder, I think.
Yeah.
Wrestling was pretty good this week other than that, but yeah, I don't know. WWE just, I guess they really like Lana, or they really hate Lana, or they really hate us. Like, I don't know which one it is yet.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that, but that was my bad booking. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So we are now moving on to my creative team corner.
Yeah.
Now, Zach, we all know the Shield.
Hey, that's my name.
We all know the Shield.
Yeah, that's what Link wears when he goes to fight for the princess.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my creative team corner. Thank you. The three Shield members being Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. However, Shield was supposed to be made with Cassius Ohno instead of Roman Reigns.
I thought it was supposed to be Balor.
No, it was supposed to be Cassius Ohno
instead of Reigns. Okay.
How do you think they should have booked the Shield if that would have been the actual decision? Because I don't feel like Cassius Ohno I don't feel the Shield can be as dominating with him over Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So do you think, like, individually they would have gotten to the place that they are now? Or do you think the Shield would have been kind of a flop if it would have been Cassius instead of Roman?
I think the one person in that group, if Cassius would have been there, the one person in that group that would have been a star, regardless of any group he would have ever been on, was Seth Rollins. So, no matter how they would have booked the Shield, if it would have been Cassius or Ambrose or Balor or whoever you thought it was going to be, I think that Seth Rollins automatically was going to be a star anyways. Right? So, to me, like, for Seth Rollins' career, I think that wouldn't be a problem, whoever it was. You could have picked Leon Ruff and Leo Rush, make it the Ruff and Rollins brothers or whatever. I think Rollins would have still been a star. So if it would have been Cassius instead of Roman, I think that the person that would have hurt the most would have been Dean, I think, because Roman and Dean fought so many times and were like best buds, and I think that's what propelled Dean to the next level in WWE. But I don't know. I think it's hard to think because, like, remember the Rumble where Roman eliminated 12 people?
I can't see Cassius doing that.
That's what I was thinking. Like, Cassius can't do that.
Remember Evolution versus Shield? I don't think that match is as, I guess, not necessarily high stakes, but as main event worthy if it's not with Roman.
I'll tell you what, if Roman would have had Cassius's mind, because Cassius was amazing on the indies.
Yeah.
But the Roman body, I think that Roman would be even bigger than he is now.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. Absolutely.
But that group was going to be pushed to the moon. I mean, I'm not sure if it would have made a huge difference. If you look at, like, you think about who they faced.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they face Kane, Randy Orton, and Sheamus?
Yes.
At, like, a WrestleMania?
Maybe, yeah. Something like that.
So, I just think that they were going to be booked to the moon regardless. And even if it was Cassius Ohno, I think some stuff would be different. Maybe, like, how Cassius's, oh, that's a tough thing to say. Chris Hero.
There we go.
There we go. I think his career would have been still okay. But I'm not sure how it would have fared. I think Roman's career is too good now.
Yeah.
If Cassius would have done the same thing as, like, a Dean Ambrose where he was in the Shield and then left, I think that would be more viewable than it would be Cassius having the Roman career.
Yeah. Do you think Cassius would be Tribal Chief?
Oh, that's a good question. I think... You know what? You know who should be Tribal Chief?
Who's that?
Hornswoggle.
Yeah, you're
Absolutely.
Right. You're right.
The way he wrestles is AJ Styles. Come on.
You know what? No, not until he gives a wow,
Style Splash.
Yeah, Style Splash.
It's a good question though, Alex, because it makes me really think of, like, Cassius's career after, and, like, Cassius was more like he kind of felt like the locker room leader. I don't think he would have had enough years with, like, Cassius in the Shield. I feel like Cassius's career didn't last that long.
It really didn't, no. Like, he didn't do much in NXT either, I find.
When I say Cassius's career, I mean in WWE.
Yeah. He's big in the indies.
Yeah, he's huge in the indies.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Shield would have been short-lived, but I think Seth Rollins would have still been the same Seth Rollins.
Right, that's fair.
I don't know if Dean Ambrose would have been the same, though, but I think he was going to leave anyways.
I agree with what you said with the Dean and Roman thing about how they kind of, how that kind of pushed Dean Ambrose to go further. That's a good way to look at it.
I think that the only guy on that team that didn't have to be in the Shield was Seth. Because Dean needed to be, like, more WWE style and less hardcore.
Yep.
And Roman just needed experience. They both got that in the group. So
definitely agreed.
That's how I see it, anyways.
Yep. So that was my creative team corner for this week. We will.
Oh, it was a good one. But I thought it was supposed to be Balor that was supposed to be in there.
No, it was Cassius.
Huh.
Yep. So now we will move on to our Survivor Series recap.
Oh, let's get that going, shall we?
So, first of all, I would just like to say that I won the predictions.
Oh, screw you.
I had 5 points to everyone else's 4 points.
Alex becomes a two-time.
That's yeah. This is also because I voted for Lana while you guys did not.
And the scoreboard.
Yes.
I'm at 2. You are at 2 now.
Yes.
Patty is at a crisp 0.
Yes.
So, Patty, you're not on the podcast today, but you're gonna have to catch up there, buddy.
He's got time, you know. He's got time.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time.
So
he's got nothing but time.
We will start off with the match that was not announced beforehand, which was the 18-man battle royal, which I was very pleasantly surprised with. Dominic Mysterio,
because of Dominic,
wrestled his heart out. He looked so clean in that ring. Did
he wash his hands before, or?
I think so, with soap. So
yeah. Yes. Sorry. What I'm trying to do.
But yeah, he did all the usual battle royal spots where like you get thrown over the rope and you don't actually get eliminated. He managed to do some flashy top rope stuff, and he was in the final 2. Dom made it to the final 2, in which he got eliminated by The Miz, unfortunately. But you know, it's fine.
I don't find that unfortunate at all, bro.
I mean, I'm just saying that because I would have liked to see Dom win. But
here's
I'm not upset with it.
Here's why, though, okay? Because Miz needs the credibility again, because he's got the briefcase.
Yes.
And that's kind of the way Vince books, like, things. He makes you think that the young upstart wins. Then, Miz,
there's the Miz. Yep.
There's the Miz. So,
it's true.
I don't know. I'm fine with it. I thought that Miz was great to friggin' roll up behind them and win. I think Miz has won a few battle royals like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he has.
And, shout out to Dominic, where it's, Dominic versus Ray, WrestleMania. Let's go.
Make it happen, Vince. Make it happen.
Ray's retirement match. Oh, I still want to see Ray.
All right. So next up, we'll talk about the Team Raw versus SmackDown, the men's match, which we already talked about a bit on how no member of Team Raw was eliminated.
Sweep.
Yeah, each member too also eliminated someone, which is something interesting.
That's surprising because Braun Strowman usually eliminates everyone.
Nope, this time each member got to eliminate someone.
That's crazy.
There was a post made that was like, is this the most dominant Raw Survivor Series team we have ever seen? I'm almost willing to say yes.
Yeah.
Just because of the result, but also like just look at the names, Yeah. Styles, Strowman, Keith Lee, like.
And any one of those guys could have just popped off and been like the best.
Yeah.
Like Keith Lee,
Yeah.
Keith Lee, I figured Keith Lee and Braun Strowman were just gonna fight over how many eliminations they could get. Just like a 1v1 of like, I got two.
Yeah, they're both at 2, and it's like, who's gonna get the last one?
Yeah, and then they both get eliminated somehow.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been a good booking.
Yeah.
I like the way they did it. Well done. Solid match too, It wasn't like a 2-minute match. They still made it last like a Survivor Series match should. And yeah, props to Team Raw.
Congratulations.
Yes. We follow that up with the tag team match between Street Profits and New Day. I was convinced that New Day was going to win this match. I thought New Day had to win it to keep themselves being credible as champions, just coming back from injury. But after the match, after Street Profits ended up winning, I think they made the right choice. I just, I'm not sure who's going to dethrone the Street Profits. That's my question.
Me neither.
If New Day fell short,
I don't know. It's hard to.
Yeah. So if they're trying to cement them as the top tag team in the division, I say go for it.
Here's another problem with WWE is that Angelo Dawkins is probably going to roll up behind Montez Ford.
Yep.
And then there goes another feud.
Yep. After Montez Ford wins the Money in the Bank championship, and then
you know the way I'm booking that. I guess. No, I agree.
Quite unfortunate, but yeah, good for Street Profits, I guess. But yeah, the question still stands: who beats them? Like, if it's not one of them turning on the other, who beats them?
Oh man, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Hard to tell because like you kind of gotta book you gotta like call one up or something or book someone or it's kind of hard to say. I don't know. I guess it's one of those wait and sees.
Maybe either waiting for the Usos to return together, but who knows?
I mean, that would probably be the easiest one, wouldn't it?
That would be good.
Jimmy returns and Jimmy and Jay win, and then Roman's champ.
Yeah.
I don't know. See it. I like they're gonna have to stay champs for a while until Jimmy comes back.
Definitely. Which I think they said Jimmy was coming back in January.
I believe that.
I think I heard that somewhere. Could be wrong.
Probably wrong, but that's okay.
Yeah, probably wrong. In that case, let's just move on to the next match, which was Bobby Lashley.
Since you're always wrong.
Yes, of course. Except when I do my predictions, apparently. Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn.
That's the one I thought Sammy was gonna weasel his way to a win, and that didn't happen. So
I mean,
screw my pick.
My reasoning was that they just have to keep making the Hurt Business look strong, right?
Yeah.
If they make Bobby lose, and it just kind of takes away a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, good move. I wouldn't have been upset if Sammy won either, but yeah, not much to say about this match. It was okay.
A good match. It was a good match.
Yeah,
Sammy's good. Bobby's good.
Yep.
Hold hands and go to the bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next match, which was a match I was really excited to watch. Sasha Banks versus Asuka.
How'd you feel about that
one? I'm glad Sasha won. I thought that was the obvious choice.
Agree.
I thought the match was pretty solid. I don't know. There wasn't anything, I guess, special that I noticed about that match. Solid match, though.
It was a good match. I mean, I was kind of surprised with the roll-up win, but I was very pleased that Sasha won as well.
Yeah. I wasn't too surprised by it. I just... Because, like, there's no real heel in that match, I guess. But if you were to pick one, it would be Sasha, so it kind of makes sense.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Fine with Sasha. Yep. Fine with Asuka. I think those were kind of the last two left that you kind of were like, okay, that's going to be a good match. You could have put Bayley in there, but, you know.
Yep.
If you've seen Bayley be champ for a long time, it's time for her to move on and do something other stuff. Maybe promote somebody else, you know.
Definitely, like Lana.
Well, you stop with that.
Speaking of Lana, next match was the Women's Raw versus Smackdown match. We don't really need to talk more about it. We've talked a lot about it.
Bianca
Team Raw won. Bianca Belair should have won. Let's just move on to the next match.
Fair enough. I mean, we talked it already, so we don't have to.
The last match of the night, the Universal Championship versus the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Colossal battle.
Was it immovable? Was the Gorilla Monsoon thing?
I wouldn't say so.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I think it was too predictable that Roman was going to win it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that I was mad of, because I was like, well, why can't Randy keep the belt? You know.
Yeah,
no. They wanted to book this match, and I understand it, and you know, I'm salty over it. I'm salty that Randy Orton wasn't even on the damn pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was kind of odd, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Drew McIntyre losing to Roman. Um, it's it does take away from Drew, which is the thing that I don't like. It does take away from Drew. Um,
I mean, at the same time, Drew was on Raw, so he can obviously get that back real quick.
yeah,
So I'm not overly scared. I'm
yeah,
just like waiting to see what's gonna happen.
very hopeful. I'm just curious where they're bringing this Roman storyline because they're not just gonna introduce The Rock into it now. So, I guess who's next for Roman?
Or
Good
next,
question.
Goldberg.
That'd be interesting. That'd be really interesting.
Wouldn't stop.
And we will finish off the Survivor Series with Undertaker's goodbye. Have to pay our respects to the dead man.
I know we talk about the Undertaker for a little bit because
why not?
He's leaving. So go ahead, Alex. Give me your favorite Undertaker moment.
Favorite Undertaker moment? Who was it that was giving him gifts at one point when he was in his
Show.
It was Big Show. Wait, was it Big Show?
It was Big Show. I'm pretty sure it was Big Show.
Yeah.
With the dog and
stuff? Yeah,
stuff?
with the puppy.
Yeah, it was Big Show.
That is one of the most unforgettable moments for me. Just Undertaker having to just straight face it, receiving a puppy, and just not show emotion towards it.
Yeah.
Other moments are JBL trying to make Undertaker laugh in the ring.
Yeah.
Almost doing it. Almost. Not quite. And I think one of my favorite matches was just an underrated Undertaker match, and one of the matches that he's talked about before, his Jeff Hardy match.
Yeah, the ladder match.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
Yeah, I saw it the other day, and I was like, God, no wonder, like, Undertaker was just so good to the business. Like, he would promote anyone that he wanted to, and that he felt was going to make a difference in the company. And I think I'm just going to miss the gong.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, hearing that and, like, the chills you get and just him walking to the ring.
It's going to be weird. I don't know. It's going to be weird knowing that WrestleMania is not going to have Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. It was already weird, not this year with the Boneyard match, but the year before. That was weird to me. I was like, oh my God, like he's been wrestling WrestleMania since 3 and he's stopping at 36. Like, that's a hell of a career, no matter what. My favorite Undertaker moments are some of his matches, like the whole Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania.
Amazing.
Whole Triple H match as well. That whole thing. And like, if you look at who the Undertaker faces at Mania in the last like 10 years, it was either like the biggest superstar or the one that they wanted it to be the biggest superstar. Like, except a little exception on Shane McMahon, but at the same time, after Undertaker faced Shane stayed for like another 3 years.
And
at the same time,
title of greatest wrestler.
Exactly. And not only that, but he wrestled Punk.
Yep.
Was huge at the time. He wrestled Bray Wyatt, who became one of the best wrestlers we have now.
Wrestled Roman, who's top dog now.
Exactly. So, like, I don't know if we'll ever find somebody like him again, and I don't think we will. But if we ever do, like, I don't even want to start speculating on who he could be. Like, it's going to be hard to not see him every time. It's going to be hard because he's just like a staple.
It's hard because you have to think about how big he was backstage as well, right? Like, he was the locker room leader. He was the locker room.
There's no doubt about it.
And like,
I think.
You go ahead.
I just think that Undertaker should get a job in WWE.
Yes, but like, what would he do? Like, creative, developing? Yeah. Become a trainer, work for NXT.
Yeah, like creative. Yeah, depending on how bad the other ones are, I guess. But no, I just think he should be developing talent. And
pull a Dusty
Rhodes. There's no other person you would want to develop than him.
Not a single better person. Nope.
So, anyways, thank you, Undertaker, because you will surely be missed. Even a young wrestling fan like we are, we will miss you.
He's the first wrestler I could ever call my favorite wrestler.
That's an interesting thing to say. I'm not sure I could tell who my first one was. I think I would have probably said just. I know I said Randy Orton, but I hated him at the start because he was such a scumbag.
Yep, that was me with Edge.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy, I liked. He was a face.
Speaking of Edge, the Edge and Taker matches.
Yeah, that was great. A good match at Mania as well.
Yep.
Whoever has a WrestleMania match with Undertaker, like, you do not know how blessed you are to even have that match. Like, crazy. And like Taker too, like I was thinking of like one match with who was it? Was it Hardy? Yeah, it was Jeff Hardy. And you know what I was thinking of actually? The first pay-per-view I watched was Jeff Hardy versus Punk TLC match at SummerSlam. And the lights flickered, and that was my first pay-per-view, so I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
I have my buddy who watches wrestling freak out next to me, but he's not telling us what's going to happen.
Right.
We're like, what's going to happen? He's like, you'll see. And then sure enough, gong, lights go out. I'm like, who is that? And he's like, that's the Undertaker. And the crowd went nuts, and I was shocked. I was like, what's going on? What's going to happen? And then like the lights come back on, and I just see Punk there. Nothing changed at all. No Undertaker. And all of a sudden, he's just like laying down where Jeff Hardy was, and springs up, chokeslams Punk, and like that just made it so much better.
He's so good at first impressions. Like the first time you get to see Undertaker in a ring is such an interesting and amazing experience.
Yeah. I hope I get chills like that for anybody else that ever enters the ring. Because, you know what? Even if I do get chills, I don't think it'll feel the same.
Yeah, probably not.
But we will see.
Yep. I think I can't really say it's a regret because I had no opportunity to do it, but I think the one thing I'll, I guess, miss the most of this is not being able to see a Taker match live.
Yeah. That's the one thing.
Yep.
I'd have to go to the Royal Rumble, Alex. You know that, right?
Yeah, we definitely do one day. We definitely do.
So I can, punch you and be like, oh my God, he's back.
I'm just on the floor, knocked out, bleeding. Everyone's freaking out because the timer's at 10.
Like a $500 ticket.
Yeah. I missed the entire thing.
That would be funny. I think that wraps it up, right?
That does wrap it up, Zach.
All right, let me do the classic Facebook, Twitter stuff.
Yes.
So on Twitter, MW Podcast 1, our email, maritimewrestletime@gmail.com if you want to send us questions or topics you guys would like for us to talk about. Our YouTube is Maritime Wrestletime, like you are watching right now, and our Facebook @Maritime Wrestletime Podcast. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to tune in to Draft Bash. We're still waiting on that to come out. We have another episode coming up with the theme of War Games.
Ooh.
So me and Alex are going to build our War Games teams.
Yes.
As Patty becomes the organizer of the event. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you next time. Have a good night.